Good morning, my people. How are you? Whenever parents have to make a decision in regards to which daycare to send their kids to, you're like, okay, what should I consider? For me, that I was a new parent when I had my twins, I had no idea all the things that I had to take into consideration to make sure that I made the best decision in regards to the daycare that I was going to choose. So I wanted to share with you everything that I have learned, right? Because when you're a first-time parent, you have a lot of questions, and some people have some others that give them some advice, and some people don't have anyone. So write me on the comments if you need me to make a specific video about something that you're interested in, okay? So let's get started. First tip right here, okay, commute. You want to make sure the daycare that you're choosing is close to your job. Okay, we are talking about a person who has been at a steady place for a long time, right? And your job is your career. You're not gonna go anywhere else. You plan to stay there. You like your job, right? So you want to make sure that the daycare that you send your kids to is close to your job. Why? Because you don't want to have to be leaving work at 5 p.m. and you gotta pick up your kid by 5:30 and you're stuck in traffic and you cannot make it. Because first, some daycares charge you $1 per minute if you're late, and some others will look at you with really bad face. Plus, you don't want your kid to be the last one to be picked up at school, right? Because that makes them feel not so good about themselves. Plus, whenever you're heading that way and dropping them off, you will always make sure that you're at work on time, so you'll be getting to the daycare at the same time every day, right? That establishes some discipline on your kid, where they're gonna be accustomed to a certain routine that they do at 9 a.m. They go to the bathroom and then they have breakfast. So you'll be able to expose your kid to routine, which is something that they need early on when they are toddlers, okay? That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, you want to make sure, in case you are like me, that the daycare has cameras, right? Whenever they're really little and it's the first time that you're gonna drop off your baby toddler at a certain place where you don't know anyone, many places nowadays have cameras. How do they work? They have little cameras in the little rooms where your kid is gonna be playing, and you can access the camera through your phone. They give you an app for free, usually. In most places that I have been to, they never charge you for that. And you can access your telephone and look at your kid throughout the day without having to worry like, oh my God, what is he doing? It's not like you can call him on your cell phone, you can talk to him. So it gives you a really good feeling to see them and to see, oh, they're playing, oh, they're sleeping, and to kind of follow up on them throughout the day without having to call anyone or drive to the daycare. You see what I'm saying? Tip number 3, you must consider if the place is providing them with food. I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and mid-afternoon snack. Whenever they wake up from their nap, they're gonna be able to eat something at that time, and you wanna make sure that the daycare either offers that or they had a plan for a catering company that comes to bring some meals for the day, okay? Because if you don't take that into consideration, that's gonna add up $200 more or less per month to your monthly expenditures, because you gotta provide them with breakfast, lunch, and PM snack. So you wanna make sure that you either take into that consideration or they have that and they provide that within the tuition that you're paying. Classes included. You wanna make sure that whenever you're comparing different daycares, you're also taking into consideration what kind of classes they're including for the price that you're paying. Many daycares just give you a regular tuition and they don't tell you much about their classes. They tell you, oh, they're gonna learn their numbers, letters, okay. But some other places, they offer also Chinese classes included, Italian, Spanish classes, soccer classes. Some places have that included. So you want to make sure that whenever you're making like your comparison on a little sheet with everything, that you're comparing if this place is offering more classes than this other place. Tip number 5. Here is the biggest out of all the tips I think that I can give you. So whenever I was comparing daycares, I was looking at the monthly tuition, right? I will be like, okay, this is charging me $750 per month. This other one is charging me $800. This other one wants $1,200. You cannot look at the monthly tuition in terms of comparison for daycares. Why? Because there are like 1,000 other different prices that you gotta factor in to make sure that you are getting the right comparison throughout a whole school year for your kid. What am I talking about? Okay, so some places charge you registration for the school year. Let's say $300 for a school year. $300, $400. Building cost, materials cost, materials, like everything that they're going to be using in the classroom, gets charged and to their parents. So it's annual tuition, annual registration, material cost for the year, others cost, let's say in this place buildings, plus if the place requires your kid to wear a certain type of uniform. Why? Because some places allow your kid to just come in with whatever they're wearing, and some others require a certain type of pants or shorts or t-shirts, right? And some others require PE, physical education uniform. So that's something you also have to consider. Before and after care, do you have to pay extra to have your kid coming in at a certain time? And do you have to pay extra to be able to pick them up instead of at like 4 p.m. that the school ends, after care until like 5:30? So all of these things have to be factored in, because you cannot look at just $750 or $1,200 per month when this school is charging you X, Y, and Z for registration. This other one has or doesn't have a certain other building fee or materials fee. So you want to make sure that you have all these costs laid down like this, a little list of everything. Once you have all the costs for this school, the year, how much a year per registration, everything, you can take all of that, plus if you gotta pay anything for food, because this other school offers food for them and this one doesn't offer any food, that's gonna cost you $200 more or less per month. You wanna put all of that in, and once you have all the breakdown of everything that I have mentioned, then you divide that by 12. Once you divide everything that I told you by 12, that's gonna give you the actual real number you're paying for your kid in daycare per month at this specific school versus this other one, okay? Another tip to consider: whenever you have multiples like me, you can always ask for a discount on either tuition or registration on the second kid. I've been to like different schools, and 2 places that I have asked, they had reduced the amount that we are paying per month on the second tuition or on the second registration, because whenever you bring a sibling into the picture, they give you some type of break. So make sure you ask for that if you have a second child that you're bringing in to the school, okay? Whenever you're paying for materials, building fee, whatever fee that is annual, or registration fee, whatever fee that is annual, if you are bringing your kid let's say on November or I don't know, March, make sure that the school prorates whatever cost they're charging you among the months that you're gonna be having your kid enroll in that school for. Let's say if the annual fee for, like, I don't know, the whole year is $200, you don't want to be charged $200 when you're not having your kid in that school for 12 months. You want to have that $200 divided by 12 months, and once you have the number for, let's say, the registration for $200 for the whole year divided by 12 months, then you multiply that monthly fee times the amount of months that your kid is gonna be in that school for. Because if you started your kid in that school on September, you cannot pay $200 of registration for a whole year when you're gonna have your kid there for a few months only. So that's something that you gotta talk to your school about. Director, usually they give you some type of break, or they do a proration or something that they can help you out with that, along with the materials fee. Because you're not going to be paying $250 or $300 for materials fee for the whole year if you only have your kid in the school for like 3, 4, or 7 months. You see what I'm saying? So that's another discount that you can ask for. Another really good tip that I didn't know about, and I learned this the hard way, you can choose to have your kid registered in this school for this whole year and then take him to another school for the summer term. Do you know that? I didn't know that. Okay? And you can have, let's say, in this school, the school year where they learn how to, write letters, numbers, this and that. But if you find the summer program at a different place, closer to your home, closer to your parents' home, or a place that you find nicer for them to be spending their summertime in, you can also do the summer there and then go back to the same school. Like, they're not gonna kick you out. I didn't know this. And last but not least, this is really important, okay? Whenever your kid turns 4, he qualifies for VPK. VPK is a state program that allows your kid to get half of their tuition paid by the state. Yes, I didn't know this. So you can have a school that offers VPK and another one that doesn't offer VPK, so make sure you take that into consideration also when you're making a choice of which school to choose. Because if you are like me, in my case, having the state pay for my twins half tuition per month is the equivalent of having the state paying for one of my full kids' tuition. You see what I'm saying? If I'm paying $2,000 for both kids and they cover half of the tuition on each, that's $500 less on each. It's like me paying for one kid instead of paying for 2. So this is crucial, and you gotta take advantage of this while you can whenever they're 4 or 5 years old, okay? Make sure you review the comments below where I'm gonna be putting the link to the page where you can go and register. It's a really easy process. You fill out the form. I'll show you mine. I'll do a download of mine. There are a lot of schools that accept this VPK program, but there are a lot others that do not accept it. So you want to take that into consideration because that's going to reduce the tuition by half, and that's huge. So if you like my video, please make sure you share it with your friends and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so whenever a new video comes out, you're notified and you can be the first one to watch it. So if you want me to address a different type of topic, make sure you write it in the comments, okay? I read all my comments and I respond to everyone. And if I see that many people are asking for something, or I see that something is being asked and I can address it, I'll make sure to write a script so that I can create a new video with whatever you guys need. I'm here to help, so whatever your questions are, make sure that you write them on the comments and I'll address them on my future videos, okay?